YouTube, it's your boy Ken with the Anchor Reef. Today we're gonna be doing rock selection.
See, time 10, we rolling. Yeah. I come from the gutter side of town. If you ain't from here, you can't come around. If you try me, then it's going down. Say it with me. One more time. I smoke the strongest reefer I could find. If she with me, then she must be fine. I like them chocolate light skin or brown. I say it with me. One more time. I got the coated flowing ATL.
Now the next question is, well, what rocks do I buy? You walk into a fish store, it tells you I have two types of reef saver, white, and then we have some that's was already kind of purple, but this has been in the fish tank, so a lot of that is coralline algae already grown on there. I've got some Pucani, and then we've got some other off-brand types of rocks. Well, for yourself, you should already have been researching and know that when it comes to reef tank, we're looking for porosity. We're looking at how much water volume will travel through these rocks. What rocks do I choose? Well, all of them. When we're going to take them to the house, we end up busting them up, and we create our own rock sculptures. A lot of people take rocks home. They'll just take a big pile of rocks to make the infamous rock wall, which of course you can get a lot of corals on and do different things, but you don't get to get as creative with it. So I would suggest when you select rocks, you select what is aesthetically pleasing to you. What are you after? What are you trying to find? What do you want to look at every day? Like, you have to walk past this fish tank every single day. Look for though, when you go to look at some rocks, you put it in some water, and how fast does that water travel out of that rock? And of course it's still got water. Same thing when you go to the white reef saver. I mean, these are all smaller pieces, but you want water to travel through this rock. You want it to run through this rock. You do the same thing with the Pucani. And that's why I say you get all of them. I mean, you go home, you bust them up, and of course you can look at this rock and see the pores that it has in it, give it all that room for all that bacteria to just grow and get together. But then you have other pieces that you can use as base rocks. They're not so porous, but then again, you're not going to be shining a whole bunch of light on these things. And they'll get some algae, but as you see there, you really don't get any kind of water running through it. It's not very porous. It's just holding outside bacteria really on the outside. And you'll be able to tell it when you look at your rocks. You look through them. Can you see holes and crevices already in the rocks? 2. Live rock costs more than dry rock. If you're researching, you'll know what I'm talking about. Live rock is just rock that's already been in the system. It's already starting to colonize with bacteria. It's already set up. This is where starting that tank in no time comes in, but you're also going to pay a lot more for the same kind of rock that's full of water. If you take your time and you're doing it slowly, your best bet is to go out and get you a good dry rock. Have fun with it. Play with it. Take your time. Now you know that you're getting into this. You can build your rocks. You can enjoy it. Me? Nah, I like to take it to another level, because then you get to have fun with it. You get to play with it. So what you'll do is you go get you a set of chisels, and you'll need you a nice size mallet. Yup, that's what you're gonna need right there. Sometimes you don't need the mallet. I mean the chisel. If you've got a nice porous piece, even though you should probably use this, but I'm doing it one-handed, so we're gonna try it like this here. And give it a good, just like that there. Now you got a bunch of pieces. You dig what I'm saying? So you'll take them, and now you can play with them and do anything you want to these rocks. That's how you get ready for your reef tank and let go of some aggression all at the same time. Take your few pieces, smash them against the ground, throw them around, whatever you want to do with them. get them busted up, and then come back and decorate them in the way that you want. And you know, you can take you some Reef's best friend, some super glue, and of course get them stuck at first, just to put them in place of where you want them on connection points, and then come back in and find you some epoxy, some two-part epoxy. I tend to use JB water well, works for me. A lot of people use a different other two-part epoxies because they look like coralline algae, and there's nothing wrong with that. They all work the same. Have a two-part, bend them together, but you have minimal time to work with it. So I suggest doing it slowly. Cut you off a small piece, do a small section at a time, but just make sure you get into the gaps, you know, work them in there. That's a different video for another day, but there's a variety of things. Like I said, you leave me a comment down at the bottom, say you want to, you know, learn how to build these rocks. I can show you some ways to get it done. I've done a few different ways, as you can see with the pictures in the slide I had there. But other than that, man, you just remember to keep it simple. And for making a rock selection, it really boils down to you and what you like. I mean, what you want to look at. I mean, do you want to walk past the tank every day with some rocks you just threw in there? Do you want to take your time with this reef, put it together in a way so that it's absolutely amazing and stunning every time people walk into your home, and all you hear is, "Ooh, man, I love your fish tank. I love your fish tank." And the next thing you do is you're like, "Hey, you know, I can help you get started," or you can send them to, you know, different people's websites and YouTube channels, and we can all continue to keep building reefs together. But you go out and find you some rocks, play with it, have fun with it.